parents and welcome to our presentation about the sorts of things we get into Year 5. Obviously this will be a little different than how you usually get your information.
We are now in Year 5, either Orca or Reindeer class. Year 5 is part of Upper Key Stage 2 with Year 6. Our teachers this year are Mrs Gregory and Mr Finch.
They are not the only adults that help us. We also have two amazing LSAs called Miss Shaw and Miss Joss who support us.
Timetable for our lessons each week pretty much stays the same. The mornings, other than Friday, are mostly taking up a real focus on English and maths.
Bonjour, on Friday, the lovely Miss Thomas comes in to teach us French. Au revoir!
Mr Finch teaches English writing to both classes. Here we focus on SPAG and different writing genres. He bases the writing on what he calls a text driver. Text drivers are books that we study and use, and Mr Finch plans writing tasks on things that we read about in them.
We don't just use these texts to read. Mr Finch and Mrs Gregory are keen that we read quality extracts of great writers and books in our reading session.
We have a daily reading session of about 30 minutes. Here we look at lots of different extracts from famous writers or books and hone our reading skills.
10 work and reading lessons focus on the reading domains which are key reading skills. These include partitioning, summarising and retrieving facts and using our inference skills.
Some of the authors we have looked at have been Tolkien, Jules Verne and C.S. Lewis. We will look at show tunes and more modern music and look at the lyrics. During the morning we spend 20 minutes looking at spelling strategies and then we pick apart certain rules. Here we often work in partners and discuss our findings.
We don't just do spelling at school. Mr Finch sets up spelling shed homework each week. This is linked to what we do in class.
We should be completing these each week. On average, spelling shed games take about 5 minutes a day, but it helps to remember things we have done in class.
During the morning, while one class is doing English, the other is learning about numeracy with Mrs Gregory and the amazing Mrs Joss.
In our math lessons, we are using a mastery approach in which using different ways to help us develop a deep and secure knowledge and understanding for mathematics and at each stage.
We use visual representations to show our workings out and to help us solve or understand abstract ideas.
If that's not enough, we are given problems to solve that have been written by the University of Cambridge.
Every week we're set homework on ED.
This is a homework app that we use twice a week and Mrs Gregory checks the homework as it supports her teaching.
Our afternoons allow us to sample subjects other than maths and English. These are known as the foundation subjects other than science, so let's find out about them.
In Year 5, computing this year is taught by Mr Berryman. He seems to know everything about PCs.
Within the year, we use a range of devices and equipment to learn about computer science, creating media, data, computing systems and networks.
We will learn about repetition and selection using the programming language Scratch and how to code on physical devices using the Cramble microcontrollers to model real-world technology.
We will also make databases and explore vector and 3D drawing using software. I have to say it does sound very technical but exciting.
Another of our afternoon sessions in science is Year 5 science. This year we will be taught by Miss Loisas. Excitingly, all of our lessons will be in our specialist science lab, the FIS lab.
This half-term we have been learning about forces, investigating how we can modify an object's size or shape to reduce or increase the amount of friction.
Over the rest of the year, we will be learning a range of science subjects, from space to life cycles, from materials to chemical reactions. We will be exploring the 5 types of inquiry throughout each unit, asking and investigating our own questions.
Our own Miss Gregory teaches us geography. Year 5 is studying our local area cows.
We are comparing and contrasting how the economy has changed over time.
We then move further afield and explore Scandinavia and its biomes, lastly focusing on the trade of economics and including the journey of plastic.
Design technology is a real hands-on subject. Here we get to work with Miss Rand. During the autumn term, we'll be focusing on Greek gods, which is linked to a book we are studying in literacy, Who Let the Gods Out by Maz Evans. Who let the gods out? Who?
We will be creating our Greek god out of fluorescent wire and then covering it in model to make it sturdy under a science vessel.
As I so popular last year, we're hoping to still work with JK for Jaguar Child, which we'll begin working on after Christmas. This will link for computer lessons with Mr. Barrett.
The spring term we will be getting busy in the kitchen, continuing on from work in year 4 about food hygiene and safety within the kitchen, as well as making biscuits. Finally, during the summer term, we will be focusing on textile and sewing, creating a whole class story blanket of a familiar story.
In Year 5, RE and PSHE will be taught by Mrs. Evans. In RE, we will be exploring the religions of Christianity and Islam by focusing on everyday concepts like interpretation, belonging, stewardship, and sacred places. Within the year in PSHE, we will look at topics keeping safe, staying healthy, relationships, feelings, emotions, plus internet safety.
In Year 5, music will be taught by Miss Edmonds. We'll be developing into themes, air and water, to explore rhythms, pulse and tempos, with the aim to compose music using scoring and simple notation.
Apparently, that's not all. We shall also be looking at train rhythms and samba later on in the year. The final unit we'll be learning is ukulele. We will get the opportunity to learn this instrument from scratch. Not sure why, but apparently Mr. Finch and Miss Gregory are buying ear defenders.
Coming from the Isle of Wight and thinking about its link to the Romans and smugglers, we mustn't forget history.
In Year 5, we will be taught by Mrs. Rickson.
Over the course of the year, our topics will be the Anglo-Saxons, the Vikings and the Greeks.
Within our history sessions, we will use various forms of evidence to study different aspects of life in these time periods.
With this evidence, it will be easier to build up a clear picture as what to life would have been like for people living in study topics.
These all sound really interesting. Surely we can't fit any more things into our weekly timetable, can we? Oh wait, art, French and PE.
So, in Year 5, art will be taught by Miss Thomas. During the autumn term, we will be focusing on more variety of landscapes and how artists use perspective in their work.
We look at something different in the spring term. Here we will look at a particular artist. This term we will study Escher and his work around illusions.
Finally, in the summer term, Year 5 will be finding out about modern art and impressionism. Here we will also be creating our own art inspired by Monet's work.
Nevertheless, as great an artist as Miss Thomas is, it won't only be her teaching us, as there will also be drop-in art sessions led by our resident artist. I have a feeling that art is not the only lesson that multi-talented Miss Thomas teaches us. In fact, she also takes us for French once a week.
French in the autumn term will focus on the Music Man and food. Here we learn a lot through singing lots of songs and playing games. During the spring term, we will be learning about our route to school.
We will also be learning about our route to school and the places we see along the way. Also, we will look at a famous speech scene painting. Finally, in the summer, we will learn about the 4 seasons and the planet.
In Year 5 we have a specialist PE teacher for 2 hours a week. We have Michelle for dance, Mr. Lyons, Miss Shaw and Mr. Stickland for games and Christy for gymnastics. That means we are getting great lessons for each specific branch of gymnastics. Throughout the year, we learn the fundamental core skills through activities such as hockey, basketball, handball and lots more.
We will be entering lots of virtual competitions against schools throughout Hampshire, as well as more competitions within our year group bubble.
If you want to see what we are up to, just go to our Instagram page, Gunner Primary School PE.
Wow, how much do we do? How do we fit it all in? I'm not sure how we fit in break and lunchtime.
So with our presentation, we hope we have given you a little taste of what we have learned, come to expect now we are in Year 5.
Don't forget, if you have any questions, please email Miss Gregory or Mr. Finch. I hope that's not enough information for you to digest. Thanks for watching. Bye.